All right, so let's jump right in. We're starting with a man named Sagawa Ushimatsu. On the surface, he's just a dedicated, well-respected schoolteacher in a small town. But here's the thing. His entire life, every single friendship, every bit of success he's had, it's all built on this one absolutely terrifying secret, and a rule he was commanded to never break.
And that rule came from his father, who gave him this chilling commandment just before he left home. And look, this wasn't just some friendly advice, it was a dire warning of total social annihilation, a rule that has basically haunted every single moment of his adult life.
So, what is this secret that's so heavy? Well, Ushimatsu belongs to the Burakumin, which was Japan's historical outcast class. And to really get the weight of this, you have to understand this wasn't just about being poor or from a lower class. In the eyes of society back then, it was seen as a permanent stain, like an inherited impurity that people used to justify completely excluding them from normal life.
Yeah, historically, you couldn't escape this status. It was passed down from parent to child, generation after generation. So for Ushimatsu, the only way he could have a normal life, become a teacher, have friends, just be a regular guy, was to hide who he was completely, to live a total lie.
And he's doing it, right? He's settling into this carefully constructed life he's built, but then the danger of his secret suddenly becomes terrifyingly real, and it all kicks off when a wealthy man happens to check into the local hospital. Okay, look how fast this unfolds. Day 1, a wealthy guy, Hinata, checks in. By day 3, a rumor starts spreading, he's an Eda. That's it, that's all it takes. The very next day, the other patients basically revolt, threatening to walk out. And by day 5, he's forced out of the hospital in a palanquin under the cover of darkness. It's just swift, brutal, public humiliation for literally just being who he is.
And Ushimatsu sees this happen. He's there. He hears people shouting, "Good riddance!" He watches them throw salt around to purify the building, like Hinata's presence alone was some kind of contamination. And you can just imagine what he's feeling. On the one hand, he feels so bad for this stranger, but on the other, there's this cold, chilling fear for himself.
And this event just shatters his fragile peace. It really forces him to face this huge divide inside himself. You've got his outward self, the dedicated, respected teacher, and then there's his hidden self, a man who is absolutely terrified of being exposed, filled with this secret anger and empathy for his own people. He knows, deep down, that he could suffer the exact same fate at any moment. So just when the pressure to keep hiding feels like it's becoming completely unbearable, Ushimatsu stumbles upon something. A voice. A powerful, intellectual voice that's arguing for the exact opposite of what he's been doing. This voice isn't about hiding, it's about declaring who you are with pride.
It all happens in a bookshop. He sees a new book by an author he's been secretly admiring, a guy named Inoko Rentaro. Now, Inoko is a big deal, a brilliant writer, an activist, a major thinker. And here's the kicker. Just like Ushimatsu, he is an Eda, but Inoko has chosen a radically different, and you could say, a much more dangerous path.
So on one hand, you have his father's commandment, right? Never reveal who you are. This has been the absolute core of Ushimatsu's entire life. It's his rule for survival, drilled into him since he was a kid. It's a law built on fear and the need to hide. And on the other hand, you have Inomoko's confession. This is how his new book begins. I am an Eta. Just like that. Those are the very words Ushimatsu has spent his whole life terrified to even think, let alone say out loud. It's a direct public challenge to everything his father taught him. It's terrifying, but at the same time, it's got to feel incredibly liberating. So what does he do? He's standing there in the bookshop. He checks his pockets. All he has to his name is 40 sen. And we're not talking about spare change here. This is literally all the money he has in the world. It's not even enough for his upcoming move. And he spends his very last coin to buy that book. He chooses the hunger for knowledge for an answer over the actual needs of his body. This simple act is really his own quiet rebellion. It's a desperate search for another way to exist.
But, a battle like this, it doesn't stay hidden for long. All that stress and turmoil starts to show on the outside. And the people closest to him, his own friends who have no idea about his secret, they start to notice that something is really, really wrong with him.
His best friend, a guy named Tsuchiyaya Ginosuke, even pulls him aside. He's genuinely worried. Why have you changed so much? Your face is so pale. But he totally misreads this situation.
He thinks Ushimatsu is sick, or maybe just stressed about work. He has absolutely no clue that his friend is wrestling with the very foundation of his identity.
And then you get this moment of just tragic irony. His friends start mocking the very author who's giving him hope. They're talking about Inoko, and they casually say something like, "How could someone from such an inferior race write these things?" They say this to Ushimatsu's face, with no idea that they're insulting his hero, his people, and him, all at the same time.
So now the pressure cooker is at its absolute limit. This clash between his father's command to hide and Inoka's bold confession is just tearing him apart from the inside. Every conversation, every interaction, it all starts to feel like a trap.
And this inner conflict quickly turns into paranoia. He starts obsessing over every little thing he does. Why did I move out so fast after that incident? Why am I praising Inoko's book so much? Why did I let my friend see me with it? Why can't I just keep my secret hidden? He starts seeing suspicion everywhere, and he's realizing just how fragile this life he's built really is.
And in that state of panic, his father's commandment comes roaring back, louder and clearer than ever before. Hide. He finally gets it. It wasn't just about avoiding shame. It was about pure survival. Breaking that rule doesn't just mean getting cast out, it means the complete and total annihilation of the world he has so carefully built for himself.
So he's completely trapped. It's an impossible choice, right? On one side, you've got the suffocating safety of living the lie, of just hiding who he is forever. And on the other, there's the freedom of the truth. A truth that comes with the very real risk of being cast out and losing everything and everyone he cares about.
And this is where the novel leaves him, stuck at this terrible crossroads. And it also leaves us with a really powerful question, one that goes way beyond just this one character's story. What is the true price of breaking a commandment? Especially when that commandment is the only thing keeping you safe in a world that sees your very identity as a crime.